Hi, welcome to Friend for Learning.
Today, we are going to learn about what is a complex sentence. Before we dive into this topic further, I want you to familiarize with these terms. What is a sentence? A sentence is a group of words that makes complete sense. And what do you mean by clause? Clause refers to a group of words that includes a subject and a verb. And we all know what is a subject, a person or thing, and verb is an action word. Now let's go further deep into this topic. A complex sentence is a sentence that is made up of one independent clause and one or more dependent clauses. They are joined together by a conjunction. Independent clause. Independent clauses have a subject and a verb, and they can stand on their own. Now let's have a look at few examples for the independent clause. I have a dog. The boys went to the park. So both of these sentences shows complete meaning and they can stand on their own. Dependent clause is a group of words with a subject and a verb. It does not make complete sense. It does not express a complete thought. So it is not a sentence and can't stand on its own. Few examples of dependent clause like if you can work on Sundays until the sun sets. As you can see in these sentences, they don't make complete meaning and they can't stand on their own. As I told you earlier, these clauses are joined together by conjunctions. Different conjunctions are used to show different relationships between the independent and the dependent clause. So in short, conjunctions are nothing but the connecting words. Have a look at these conjunctions. After, as, although, when, why, until, if, before, because, since. Are you wondering how to remember all these conjunctions? There is a trick to remember this. You just got to remember this simple phrase, I saw a wobble. If you remember this simple phrase, this will help you to remember all the conjunctions which you are going to use in a complex sentence. Wobble is the animal which you can see in this picture. We use these conjunctions to show different relationships in the sentences. Like for example, take these words after and although. Like, although the park was beautiful, we had a bad day. We use these conjunctions to show reasons. Like for example, I was allowed to stay up till 12 p.m. because it was weekend. These conjunctions show time. While I was walking towards the supermarket, I realized that it opens only at 8 o'clock. And we use the conjunction if we are placing any conditions, like for example, put your hand up if you need any help. Commas plays an important part in complex sentences. And the use of commas depends on the types and the position of the clauses. If you are joining two independent clauses, then you use the conjunctions such as and, but, or, so, at, or any other conjunctions. A comma is placed right before the conjunction in this type of sentences, in this type of complex sentences. Like for example, have a look at this sentence. I have a dog. It is very naughty. So we are placing a comma right before the conjunction and. I have a dog, comma, and it is very naughty. A dependent clause is a clause that cannot stand on its own. Like for example, look at this sentence. Before I go to bed, I arrange all my books according to the timetable. Before I go to bed. This clause doesn't make complete sense. So this is the dependent clause. And comma comes after the dependent clause and all the words that comes after the comma makes complete sense. Now check your knowledge. Look at this sentence. I like football. It is interesting. Can you think of a conjunction which goes with this sentence? You can write it like this. I like football because it is interesting. Or you can first write the dependent clause, put a comma followed by the independent clause, like because it is interesting, comma, I like football. I hope your answer matches with mine. Thanks for watching Friend for Learning.